Welcome to the Deep Dive, your ultimate shortcut to being truly well-informed. We don't just skim the surface.
No, definitely not.
We take a whole stack of reports, research, insights, and really pull out the most important nuggets of knowledge.
Yeah, the good stuff.
Exactly. We serve them up with some surprising facts, maybe just enough humor to keep you hooked.
Hopefully.
Today, our mission is to dive deep into something absolutely foundational to India's future: the digital transformation of its micro, small, and medium enterprises, MSMEs.
Right. It sounds technical, but it's huge.
It is. It's not just a tech story. It's really about the economic pulse of the nation. And our whole exploration today is grounded in a key report, the MSME TechTrack, by the Center for Digital Inclusion and Social Impact. That's CeDISI Trust.
And for you, our listener, the goal here is really to cut through all the noise. We'll unpack where things stand right now with MSME digitalization.
Okay.
We'll look at the critical challenges, but also the vast untapped opportunities, and then sort of lay out a clear roadmap for these vital businesses navigating the digital age.
So you walk away with the key insights, the stuff that really matters.
Exactly.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Why are MSMEs not just, important, but absolutely foundational to India's economy? We hear the term MSME a lot, but just how significant are they really?
Well, it's almost hard to overstate their importance. India has nearly 63 million MSMEs.
63 million, wow.
Yeah. And think about this. They're responsible for over 30% of India's entire GDP.
30%, okay.
And they're massive job creators. They employ more than 20 crore people. That's over 200 million individuals.
200 million, that's staggering scale.
It really is. Plus, they account for roughly 46% of India's total exports. So their role is vital, especially when you think about India's big goal, Viksit Bharat 2047.
The vision for becoming a developed nation by 2047.
Exactly. MSMEs are absolutely central to making that happen.
Okay, here's where, for me, it gets really interesting. There's this proposed shift in how we actually define and, understand these businesses.
Yeah.
Because 63 million, they can't all be the same, right?
Not at all.
You mentioned 98% fall under micro. That sounds incredibly broad, like too broad.
Exactly. That's a core insight and a really powerful point from the CeDISI report. This current micro category, which, makes up over 98% of all registered MSMEs, it's just far too wide.
Right.
It's like trying to fit, a tiny street vendor selling handicrafts and maybe a mid-sized software firm into the very same policy box. It doesn't work.
Makes sense.
The report proposes a critical subsegmentation within micro, introducing early and nano enterprises.
Early and nano. Okay, what are the definitions there?
So early would be defined as having up to, say, 5 lakhs investment. That's about 6,000 US dollars, and up to 25 lakhs turnover, about $30,000.
Okay, tiny.
Really small. Then nano would be up to 50 lakhs investment, so around 60,000 USD, and up to 2.5 crores turnover, which is about $300,000.
Okay, still small, but a definite step up from early. So why does that distinction matter so much? What's the practical impact of splitting micro like this?
Well, it matters profoundly because a business with just 5 lakh turnover has vastly different needs, different aspirations, different capabilities, especially digital needs,
Yeah.
than one maybe closer to the top end of the current micro definition, like 10 crore turnover.
Completely different worlds.
Absolutely. So a one-size-fits-all policy, it just limits how effective support can be for the smallest ones, the ones who often need the most basic, tailored help just to get started digitally.
Yeah, it's about really understanding who you're trying to help, isn't it?
Precisely.
So with all that diversity, what does this actually mean for their current digital journey? Are they adopting tech, or are most still offline?
The current picture shows a pretty significant shift, but it's varied. Over 65% of MSMEs today integrate some kind of digital technology into their day-to-day operations.
Okay, so a majority are doing something.
Something. But the key insight from the report is that for most, especially the smallest, this often means pretty basic engagement, maybe, one social media platform or basic digital payments, not deep integration.
Right.
And there's a clear link between business size and digital maturity. The report uses this Digital Maturity Index, DMI. Businesses with less than 10 crore turnover, they score lower, average around 55.
Okay.
While those with turnover above 100 crore score higher, around 68. So it really underscores that the smaller guys need more foundational, maybe hand-holding type support.
And does it vary by industry?
It does. Sector-wise, IT and IT-enabled services, financial services, transportation. They seem to be leading the way.
Makes sense.
But industries like logistics, telecom, and professional services are, well, lagging a bit behind.
Can you give us some specifics there? Like, what kind of digital adoption are we really talking about for the smallest businesses, the early or nano ones starting out?
Yeah, well, the report found that 38% of micro enterprises that did integrate with digital platforms reported better business outcomes. Things like increased income, wider customer reach.
Even if it costs them a bit more, like platform fees.
Exactly, even with those higher expenses. When you look at specific platforms, Amazon and Flipkart are most common.
The big ones.
Yeah. But interestingly, Misho is really popular for social selling. It lets micro entrepreneurs sell directly through like WhatsApp or Facebook.
Ah, leveraging existing networks.
Right. And crucially, most micro enterprises that do go digital tend to stick to just one main platform.
Okay, so simplicity is key for them.
It seems so. They need focused integration, not some complex multi-platform strategy, at least initially.
Right. Okay, what's fascinating here then is what are the big forces really pushing MSMEs into this? It's clearly not just a fad. There must be some powerful currents making it almost essential now.
Absolutely. Several key factors are really pushing this shift. First, you just can't ignore the incredible affordability of technology and connectivity in India.
Yeah, data costs have plummeted, haven't they?
Massively. We've seen this huge jump in internet and smartphone users from 41% in 2019 to 58% in 2024. Projections are over 900 million internet users by 2025.
Incredible growth.
And India has the cheapest smartphones and data plans among G20 countries. Data costs fell over 96% in the last decade, from like over 250 down to just 9s per gigabyte.
9 rupees. That's unbelievable.
It really democratizes digital access. Even the smallest vendor can likely afford a smartphone and data now.
Okay, so access is there. What about the demand side, customers? Are their expectations changing?
That's the second big driver, changing customer aspirations. People have increased digital awareness, access to global content, Netflix, Instagram, YouTube.
Right, everyone's online.
And that's drastically changed consumer behavior. Customers now expect higher quality, convenience, personalization, and digital interaction from businesses. Doesn't matter the size.
So they expect even the local shop to have some online presence.
Increasingly, yes. The report says 82% of customers are comfortable shopping online. Why? Anytime availability, 62%. Wide product selection, 43%. Better discounts, 38%. If you're not online, you're basically invisible to a huge chunk of your potential market.
Okay, that's a huge pull factor. And then, of course, we can't ignore the seismic event that pushed everyone online, whether they wanted to or not.
Oh, absolutely. The COVID-19 pandemic was a massive, massive catalyst. It just forced MSMEs to adopt contactless operations, digital payments, social media marketing, e-commerce, simply to survive.
It was survival mode for many.
Totally. A key finding. 71% of enterprises joined e-commerce platforms during or after 2020. It wasn't optional anymore.
Right. Beyond survival, though, what about the potential for growth, especially reaching, say, beyond their local town or city?
Yeah, digitalization offers this huge potential to access international markets. Platforms like Amazon Global Selling or Alibaba, they remove a lot of the old barriers. It's almost plug-and-play exporting for small Indian brands.
So that artisan in Jaipur you mentioned earlier.
Exactly. They could suddenly be selling handcrafted decor to someone in New York or London. Digital marketing lets them reach these niche global audiences, whether it's regional foods, unique textiles. It really can turn local businesses into global players.
Okay, so digital helps reach new customers, but does it also help them deal with the flip side, competition? Because online marketplaces can be pretty cutthroat.
That's true, and it's another driver.
Yeah.
Competitive pressures and reduced margins. Digital marketplaces open up customers, yes, but they also intensify competition, often squeezing profit margins.
Right. So you have to be efficient.
Exactly. It forces MSMEs to optimize their operations, use digital tools for cost efficiency, maybe automated logistics, for instance. The FICCI report found about 35% of MSMEs cut operational costs by 11–20% through digitalization. Another 30% cut costs by more than 20%.
Wow, significant savings.
It's about staying competitive, staying viable.
And finally, there's also a push from sort of the top down, right, in terms of transparency, rules, regulations. How does that play in?
Precisely. The need for transparency and regulatory compliance is a big factor. Things like digital invoices, cloud-based accounting or ERP systems, transaction tracking.
Yeah.
You give MSMEs a much clearer view of their financial health.
Helps prevent fraud too, I imagine.
Yes. And it simplifies tax compliance, especially GST. Plus, government mandates, digital payments, e-invoicing, the UJUM registration portal for formalizing.
Right, that formalization push.
It all encourages formalization, making digital adoption almost a necessity if you want to operate compliantly and access government schemes and benefits.
Okay. So if we connect all this to the bigger picture, what are the actual digital tools and technologies making a real difference for these businesses, like on the ground? It's easy to talk about digital transformation in the abstract, but what does it look like for a small Indian shop or manufacturer?
That's a really important question. It spans a pretty wide range of practical tools, really aimed at tackling their biggest day-to-day headaches, managing money, reaching customers, making operations smoother.
Okay, let's start with managing money. Always a big one for small businesses.
Absolute. So for accounting and inventory management, you've got tools like Viapar, Zoho Books. They automate invoicing, expense tracking, financial reports. Makes life so much easier.
Takes away some of the paperwork burden.
That's exactly. Then for inventory, Zoho Inventory, Marge ERP, help with stock tracking, order processing. What's cool is even simple digital tools can give real-time inventory data, helping avoid those costly stockouts or, having too much cash tied up in stock.
Right, optimizing cash flow. And payments. You mentioned UPI earlier.
Yeah, fintech is huge here. It's tackling those age-old problems of delayed payments and lack of formal credit history. UPI apps, Google Pay, PhonePe, Paytm, they're everywhere. Digital payment volume keeps rising steadily.
Makes transactions seamless.
It does. And for accessing credit, digital lending models are popping up peer-to-peer, invoice financing, supply chain financing. The government's even pushing banks to use digital footprints like PAN and GST data for credit checks.
Less paperwork, less need for physical collateral.
That's the goal. It could radically change access to finance for many.
Okay, that's huge for the finance side. What about reaching customers, expanding their market?
That's where e-commerce platforms are key. Tools like WooCommerce, Shopify, or listing on Amazon, Flipkart. They let MSMEs tap into these huge online marketplaces.
Reaching customers way beyond their local area.
Definitely. Online sales jumped from just 12% in 2018-19 to 27% in 2020-21. Amazon seems to be the most preferred platform currently.
And beyond just selling platforms, how do they build their brand online?
Through digital media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, they offer massive reach for building an online presence, engaging customers. And WhatsApp Business is incredibly powerful.
Oh, yeah. How so?
Well, 97% of Indian MSMEs reportedly use it, almost like an internal ERP and CRM, because it's simple. They control it. It's like a mini business suite right in their pocket.
Wow, 97%. That's huge adoption.
It is. And the report found 47% of MSMEs agree online advertising is more effective than traditional methods now.
Okay. And what about making their internal operations smarter, more efficient? Are things like AI actually making a difference for the smaller players too? Or is that still mostly for big companies?
No, they definitely are. And this is where that democratization of tech really shows. For operational efficiency, cloud computing is a big one. Affordable, scalable access to computing power, storage, reduces those big upfront IT costs.
They don't need their own servers and stuff.
Right. Tools like Google Drive, Dropbox, Slack, Microsoft Teams help them collaborate easily. And get this, 81% of MSMEs said they want to increase their cloud spending in 2025.
So they see the value. And AI.
Yes, artificial intelligence AI is gaining traction fast. India is actually among the top 3 countries globally for AI development.
Wow.
And for MSMEs, the really profound thing is that sophisticated AI capabilities, which used to be super expensive and exclusive, are becoming affordable and accessible.
How are they using it practically?
Well, 94% acknowledge AI can drive business growth. 87% believe it boosts productivity. They're using it for customer support, think chatbots answering common questions, for content creation, for sales forecasting, even specialized stuff where generative AI is enhancing older AI models.
So it helps automate, predict, personalize things they couldn't easily do before.
Exactly. It levels the playing field in some ways.
Okay, but with all this digital activity, cybersecurity must be a massive concern, right? It's not just a big company problem anymore.
Absolutely critical.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, India is highly vulnerable to ransomware attacks. There were 98 incidents reported in 2024 alone, a 55% jump from 2023.
And hitting small businesses hard.
Over half targeted small businesses.
Yeah.
So cybersecurity solutions, antivirus, firewalls, maybe identity and access management systems are essential. It's not just about protecting profit, it's about trust, continuity.
Right. Okay, this raises a really important question. With all these incredible tools, all this potential, what kind of support is actually available? And what are the major roadblocks MSMEs are still hitting? because it can't all be smooth sailing.
No, far from it. There's definitely a growing support system, but yeah, significant hurdles remain. On the support side, the government has launched quite a few initiatives. Well, foundational stuff like Digital India, promoting literacy, connectivity, infrastructure, then things like DigiSaction, which gives digital skills training to young people, essentially creating a tech-ready workforce for MSMEs.
Okay, building the talent pipeline.
Exactly. And programs like DXEGE, which fosters innovation through these digital transformation facilitation centers in universities, plus the establishment of new technology centers, which give direct access to advanced tech, AR, VR, AI, IoT, robotics, and train the workforce to use them.
So practical access to cutting-edge tools and skills. What about directly helping them with market access or finance? Seems like those are always key issues.
Absolutely. There's the Government e-Marketplace, GM. It's a transparent, paperless platform for government buying, and it statistically benefits MSMEs, startups, and women-led businesses. They even have an initiative called Wumigaya on GEM.
Okay, opening up government contracts.
Yes. Then the MSME Champion Scheme. This includes things like ZED, that's Zero Defect, Zero Effect, focused on modernizing and reducing waste. They even offer 100% subsidies on certification costs for women-owned MSMEs.
Wow, that's significant.
And Lean, which promotes digital empowerment and Industry 4.0 tools. Then there's ONDC, the Open Network for Digital Commerce. This is a big one. Government-backed, aiming to level the playing field in e-commerce, break down platform monopolies.
Interesting. So trying to address that platform dominance issue we talked about.
Exactly. And schemes like PM Svanidhi for street vendors and PM Vishwakarma for artisans, they specifically support the smallest players, incentivize digital payments, help them get onto e-commerce.
What about bigger systemic support?
There's the World Bank-supported RAMP program, Raising and Accelerating MSME Performance, and the MSME Team Initiative. These aim to scale up implementation capacity, even using AI for cataloging and getting small enterprises onto e-commerce.
And finance. Any specific digital finance tools from the government side?
Yes, the CBGST Sahe app. It's fully digital, paperless invoice financing. It uses GST data to give quick, collateral-free loans. Game changer for cash flow. And TREAT, the Trade Receivables Discounting System, another digital platform, helping MSMEs get paid faster on their invoices. Improving cash flow, always critical.
And finally, the UDM Assist platform, UAP, and the UDM portal simplify online registration, give digital identities to informal microenterprises so they can actually access all these schemes.
Okay, that's a pretty impressive list of government efforts. What about non-government support? Are others stepping in?
Definitely. Non-government players are crucial. Microfinance institutions, MFIs, business correspondents, BCs, NGOs, they're key for financial inclusion at the grassroots. They're integrating digital tools too, AI for underwriting, UPI for payments, WhatsApp for customer engagement.
So fintech is filtering down through them.
Yes. And CeDISI, the trust behind the report we're discussing, has its own digital MSME Yaktra program focusing on digital skills and financial literacy. Plus, you see industry collaborations, fintech firms partnering with MFIs to boost digital payments, streamline loan repayments, tackle those cash collection challenges.
Okay, so there is a support system emerging from multiple angles. Now let's flip to the other side, the major roadblocks. What's really holding MSMEs back despite all this support? The challenges are they're multifaceted, often quite deep-rooted. First, a really significant one is just lack of awareness and digital literacy.
They just don't know what's out there.
Exactly. Many MSMEs don't know about the tools or even the government schemes designed to help them. The report mentions 51% of offline MSMEs struggle simply due to lack of knowledge. And even online ones want more skills in digital marketing, customer acquisition.
Okay. Awareness gap. What else?
Second, and it's a very real fear, digital frauds and cybersecurity concerns, phishing, ransomware. MSMEs fear losing data, losing money.
Yeah.
Remember, over half of ransomware attacks hit small businesses in India. That fear alone can stop them cold.
Yeah, understandable. It's not just about getting online. It's about being safe online. What else?
Skill shortages and training gaps are a big problem. Small teams just don't have the digital skills needed. And finding resources for good quality training is tough.
Even if schemes exist, maybe they don't know how to access them.
Right. Or the training isn't practical enough. This ties into privacy and data security issues too, beyond just fraud. Some hesitate to list prices online, afraid competitors will undercut them. Or they worry about who sees their customer data, their stock levels. There's a trust deficit for many.
Okay. And the classic challenge, money. Is that still a huge hurdle for these smaller guys wanting to go digital?
Definitely. Resource constraints. Investing in digital tools, cybersecurity, maybe hiring someone with digital skills. It's a big financial burden.
Yeah.
And there's still a massive credit gap. Demand for credit is estimated at over $800 billion USD, but supply is only around $130 billion.
Wow, huge gap.
And many MSMEs are actually reluctant to take loans, maybe because of unstable sales or those delayed payments we talked about. Compounding this is an unclear return on investment, ROI.
They don't see the immediate payback.
Right. They often see digitalization as optional, maybe even complicating things. They're hesitant to invest if the benefits seem long-term or hard to measure up front. They need to see a clear, relatively quick win.
Are the tools themselves just too expensive, especially the good ones?
In many cases, yes. The high cost of digital tools, especially premium services like advanced software, paid advertising, robust cybersecurity, it's a barrier. The report found 20% of offline and 30% of online MSMEs cited high costs as a major difficulty.
Okay. What about internal factors, like within the business itself?
Yeah, there's often a generational divide in business practices. Older generations might be used to traditional ways, resist change, creating bottlenecks, even if younger family members are eager to adopt digital tools. It's a real dynamic in many family-run businesses.
I can imagine. And the regulatory environment. How tough is that for a small operation to navigate?
Compliance and regulatory challenges are complex. Figuring out evolving rules like the Digital Personal Data Protection Act, the DPDPA of 2023, it's incredibly difficult if you have limited resources or legal expertise. They need simplified, actionable guidance.
Somewhat jargon.
Exactly. And finally, even if they have basic internet, there's often limited infrastructure for seamless integration into their business model. Plus, a persistent fear of transaction failures. And this is worsened by that asymmetric power and platform dominance issue again. A few big platforms dictating terms, commissions, logistics, making sellers feel trapped. Some even quit e-commerce because of it.
Right. Feeling powerless against the big players. Okay, so let's bring this together. What does it all mean for the businesses that do manage to take the digital leap? Despite the hurdles, what's the real payoff? And how does this transformation impact different groups, especially women entrepreneurs? We know they're vital, but often face unique challenges.
Right. For those MSMEs that do embrace digitalization, the payoff can be really substantial, directly addressing many of those roadblocks we just discussed. First, there's clearly increased market reach and sales.
Going beyond local boundaries.
Exactly. Accessing competitive global markets. Over 90% of export-focused businesses reported increased sales and profit margins after integrating e-commerce. Some reported over half their sales coming via online platforms. That's transformative.
Huge shift. What else?
Second, significant reduced operational and marketing costs. Automating tasks like billing, inventory, plus more cost-effective digital advertising. It leads to real savings. Remember those FICCI numbers? 35% reporting 11-20% cost reduction. Another 30% seeing reductions over 20%.
Tangible bottom line impact. And what about financing? That long-standing challenge. Does digitalization really move the needle there?
It absolutely does. Digitalization leads to improved access to finance. Why? Because digital records, GST returns, e-invoices, transaction histories make creditworthiness assessment easier, less reliant on traditional collateral.
Banks have more data to work with.
Right. And fintechs are using this alternative data for faster, more accurate lending decisions. It's a game changer for businesses previously locked out of formal credit.
Okay, what about customer relationships?
Enhanced customer engagement. Personalized interactions through CRM systems, AI chatbots, social media. It builds stronger relationships. That Zoho survey found 97% of CRM users reported improved customer operations, leading to more revenue, better decisions.
So it's not just about efficiency, but also smarter operations, better insights driving the business forward.
Exactly. Finally, digitalization enables data-driven decision-making and innovation. Collecting and analyzing data from digital tools gives insights into operations, customer behavior, market trends, leading to more informed strategic choices.
Moving from gut feel to data-backed strategy.
Precisely. Fostering a culture of continuous improvement.
Okay, this brings us to that critical question. How does this digital shift specifically affect women entrepreneurs? They're so vital, but face unique structural societal challenges. Are they experiencing the same benefits and roadblocks, or are there distinct aspects we need to understand?
Yeah, it's absolutely crucial to look at this through a gender-intentional lens because women entrepreneurs faced distinct, often compounded challenges. First, often limited access to financial resources.
Still harder for them to get loans?
Often, yes. Difficulty securing loans due to limited collateral, perceived credit risks, sometimes outright bias. The report notes 42% of women's bank accounts were inactive in 2021, and nearly half 47.7% believe securing a loan is just harder for women because of gender bias.
And awareness is lower too.
Shockingly low. Only 17% were even aware of financial schemes specifically designed for women entrepreneurs.
Wow. So the support might be there, but they don't know about it or can't access it easily. What about broader societal hurdles impacting their digital journey?
They face significant cultural and sociological barriers. Traditional gender roles can limit entrepreneurial participation, create that imbalance with domestic duties, meaning less time for business development, including learning digital skills or managing an online presence.
A double burden.
Exactly. Plus, there's a documented gendered digital and financial literacy gap. That 2019 data showing smartphone ownership at 14% for women versus 37% for men, and 70% of women never having used the internet. That severely restricts participation. If you don't have the basic tool or skill, you can't join the digital economy.
Right, fundamental access issues and safety online. That must be a factor too, perhaps disproportionately.
It absolutely is. Safety and security concerns are very real. Fears of cyber harassment, data breaches, online fraud. It deters women from fully embracing digital platforms. That survey showing 47.4% preferred in-person bank visits due to safety concerns about mobile financial services. That's telling.
So the convenience of digital is offset by safety fears.
For many, yes. And compounding all this is often a non-gendered approach in MSME digitalization policies. They frequently overlook these distinct challenges women face, leading to their underrepresentation and a lack of digital financial products truly tailored to their needs.
Okay, it sounds like there's a real need for specifically targeted support then. Are there initiatives out there trying to bridge this digital and financial divide for women entrepreneurs?
Yes, thankfully, there are several important ones. The Credit Guarantee Scheme now offers enhanced coverage 90% for women-owned businesses needing collateral-free credit. That directly tackles a major financial barrier.
Good. What else?
There was the Internet CeDISI program, a partnership between CeDISI Trust and Google, focused on digital literacy for rural women, addressing that basic access gap. There's Mahila Ehat, an online marketing platform specifically for women entrepreneurs.
Creating a dedicated space.
Yes, the public procurement policy mandates 3% of annual government procurement must come from women-owned micro and small enterprises. That guarantees some market access.
Important incentive.
And the Women Entrepreneurship Platform by NEAAOG aims to be comprehensive, supporting women across promotion, finance, market linkages, training, building an ecosystem.
So initiatives exist, but clearly the challenges remain substantial, highlighting that need for more intentional design and future support.
Exactly. Much more needs to be done with that gender lens firmly in place.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting then. Based on everything we've discussed, the potential, the support, the persistent roadblocks, what's the roadmap forward? What are the key strategic recommendations to truly democratize digital success across all MSMEs, from the tiniest early enterprise up to the medium ones, making sure no one gets left behind?
Right. The report lays out a clear, quite strategic roadmap. It aims to build on what's working, but really address those persistent gaps we've identified. First, and maybe most foundational, is that enhanced focus on microenterprises by formally introducing early and nano subcategories.
Finally getting that definition right.
Exactly. Formal recognition is crucial for designing precise policies, targeted financial products, tailored training, getting away from that unhelpful, overly broad micro-label.
Makes perfect sense. Understanding who you're helping is step one. What else is on the roadmap?
Second, raising awareness of government schemes. This has to be paramount. Moving beyond generic ads to hyperlocal campaigns.
Getting the message out effectively?
Yes, using simplified communication in regional languages. Actively collaborating with industry associations, NGOs, local government bodies to build trust and reach people where they are.
Okay. And skills.
Third, promoting digital literacy and practical training. Maybe grouping MSMEs by their current digital maturity, providing customized self-learning guides, interactive sessions, integrating existing schemes with industry-specific knowledge. It needs to be practical, hands-on.
Not just theory. What about the money side? Beyond just general access, what does the roadmap suggest?
Fourth, encouraging targeted investments, combining finance with strategic guidance, maybe establishing a unified digital funding program covering software, hardware, cybersecurity training, with phased financial help tied to hitting digital milestones.
So, support linked to progress.
All right. Fifth, really leveraging fintech innovations, guiding MSMEs to explore lendtech and fintech firms for faster, cheaper, more flexible credit. This can unlock huge potential moving beyond traditional bank loans.
Okay. What about that regulatory maze? That seemed like a major blocker for small players.
Sixth, fostering a better understanding of regulatory compliance. This means easy-to-access, user-friendly guidelines in local languages. Explaining obligations for digitalization, like the DPDPA, without overwhelming them, making compliance simpler, not harder.
And what about the medium-sized enterprises? They sometimes get lost, right?
Seventh, yes, fostering inclusivity for medium enterprises. They often fall between micro-focused schemes and policies for large industries. They need tailored strategies for their digital transformation, cloud integration, ERP systems, advanced cybersecurity distinct from the support micro needs.
Recognizing different stages need different help, and getting down to the absolute grassroots, where many of these businesses operate day to day.
Eighth, engaging local governments and panchayats is critical. They can bridge information gaps, communicate locally, build trust, maybe integrating MSME updates into existing public service platforms so the info reaches the last mile.
Using existing trusted networks.
Exactly. Ninth, supporting gradual and sustainable digital adoption. Don't push for full digitalization overnight. Encourage digitization first, small steps. Focus on incremental innovation. That Torhan's smart calculator example was great, building on a familiar tool to introduce transaction recording. Small, intuitive steps lead to bigger leaps.
Right, meet them where they are. And the absolutely critical aspect of gender inclusion, what's a specific recommendation there?
10th, taking a truly gender-intentional approach. This is non-negotiable. Designing financial products, digital tools specifically tailored to women's needs. Simplifying collateral rules,
Right.
enhancing awareness campaigns for women, providing gender-sensitive training to bank staff to tackle those unconscious biases.
Addressing the systemic issues directly.
Yes. 11th, recognizing the vital role of educational institutions, training students on MSME operations, regulations, promoting women's entrepreneurship specifically, incorporating hands-on digital modules using affordable tools, creating that next generation of digitally savvy entrepreneurs and employees.
Building future capacity.
And finally, number 12, and this is crucial. Beyond just access to credit, we have to improve MSME's capacity to absorb and effectively utilize that credit.
It's not just about getting the loan.
No, it's about strengthening their digital skills, their management capabilities so they can actually deploy that capital productively, reduce inefficiencies, improve financial resilience, making sure the money translates into real sustainable growth.
Okay. So what does this all mean then? Our deep dive into this MSME TechTrack report, it really clearly reveals.
Yeah, it clearly reveals that India's MSME sector is, well, it's undeniably the cornerstone of the economy, but it remains critically underprepared for the digital age, especially those early, nano, and the broader micro segments.
The smallest are furthest behind.
Yes. The existing frameworks, the interventions, they're often too generalized. They overlook the very distinct operational constraints, the different digital maturity levels of these diverse businesses. We need a fundamental paradigm shift, moving from maybe token interventions to sustained, truly inclusive, granular support.
Getting specific.
Exactly. That includes formally recognizing early and nano categories, building simplified, affordable digital solutions. Crucially, creating awareness about government schemes in a language and format entrepreneurs actually understand and trust.
Making it accessible.
Yes. Decentralizing support through grassroots mentors, ensuring digitally inclusive financing, fostering community-based capacity building. The digital divide in India's MSME sector is not just a challenge, it's a structural bottleneck to inclusive growth. It demands this deep, multi-pronged approach that really starts by understanding and supporting the very smallest players.
This isn't just a report then. It feels like a powerful call to action. We really invite policymakers, donors, corporations, the fintech innovators, academic institutions, civil society leaders to actively collaborate on this.
Absolutely.
We need to drive digitalization deeper into every district, every region of India, shaping interventions that are empathetic, effective, and truly empowering, reaching every single entrepreneur.
Because the future of India's economy really lies not just in digitalization itself, but in truly democratizing digital success, especially across the smallest of enterprises. So the question for you, the listener, is, what role will you play in bridging this digital divide for the entrepreneurial backbone of India?